Hello and welcome to TTV News with some latest events in TayNinh Province. Ladies and gentlemen, TayNinh Provincial People's Committee will assess the size of the districts and the departments combat tetanus index at the departmentals, sectoral and locals in the province, refers to as DDCI in 2022.
One of the activities aims to clarify the policy of accompanying businesses is that the implementation of assessing the competitive ability of provincial departments, agencies and sectors and people's committees of districts, towns and cities in order to assess their operating capacity. The evaluation results will also be an effective and similar solution to improve the quality of economic management of local governments, thereby creating the most favorable environment for investors and businesses operating in investment, production, and business in the province, contributing to promoting TayNinh Province to make a breakthrough in administrative reform and investment adjacent socio-economic development. This is the first year that People's Committee of TayNinh Province has collected opinions from enterprises on the competitiveness index set. At departmental, sectoral, and local level, Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Ngọc, chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, suggested that enterprises spend more time to respond objectively and give the right answers to the contents of the enterprise opinion survey about departments, agencies, as well as opinions on People's Committees of districts, towns, and cities.
A conference on reviewing the 3 years implementations of Project 08 on March 27, 2020 by the Provincial Standing Committee on Gathering and Uniting Workers in the Province, periods 2020-2025, will have on February 22nd. The meeting was attended by Deputy Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Nguyễn Mạnh Hùng.
Despite facing with many difficulties due to the impact of COVID-19 pandemic, in 3 years of implementing Project 8, the province has achieved some important results, notably non-state enterprises. They overcame difficulties to maintain production. The situation of go slow is decreasing day by day. Activities of party organizations and social-political organizations have gradually been affirmed and promoted. Specifically, after 3 years, there have been a number of organizations established that can be mentioned, such as the establishment of 99 new trade union organizations at business establishments. Over 84,000 union members were admitted, and 31 new organizations were established, 15 groups of female workers in the hostel, etc. According to Mr. Nguyễn Mạnh Hùng, to effectively implement the project of gathering and uniting workers in the province in the coming time, localities need to continue to have more stake to the project and come up with solutions to solve the problem. Similarly, building and developing the party and social political organizations in enterprises outside the state sector have been paid attention to. In addition, he asked the labor union to coordinate with the Provincial Party Committee for mass mobilization to study the establishment of a consulting center to support employees and a fund to support union members and employees in the coming time. On the occasion, the Provincial People's Committee awarded certificates of merit to 6 collectives and 7 individuals who had excellent achievements in the past 3 years. In the morning of February 22nd, the Intersectoral Steering Committee on Food Hygiene and Safety in TayNinh Province held a conference to summarize the work of ensuring food safety and hygiene in 2022 and implement the plan for 2023. At the conference, Mr. Đỗ Hùng Sơn, Deputy Director of TayNinh Department of Health, Deputy Head of the Standing Committee of the Intersectoral Steering Committee on Food Safety and Hygiene in the province, said that the demand of living and entertainment are increasingly day by day. Food products is not only produced in domestically, but also imported, which are more and more varieties. The use of additives in food production and processing, or the use of pesticides and agricultural materials has become popular. Therefore, it is necessary to strengthen the dissemination of laws and knowledge on food safety for food producers, processors, traders, and consumers. At the same time, the inspection, examination, and post-inspection of food production, processing, and trading establishments need to be strengthened. The work of information and communication is promoted in many forms to raise people's awareness. Specifically, the authorities have mobilized organizations and individuals that produce, process, and trade food in the locality to commit not to trade in food of unknown origin, poor quality food, or additives which are outside the allowed list. This year, the Intersectoral Steering Committee will focus on improving management capacity on food safety, especially strengthen communication and training to improve everyone's knowledge on food safety. Moreover, the prevention of food poisoning and foodborne diseases must be carried out regularly to promptly handle food safety violations. Besides, it also focuses on developing safe areas for growing vegetables, raising livestock, slaughtering livestock and poultry, and raising aquatic products. Similarly, safe agroforestry fishery chain models that create quality products need to be built, maintained, and developed, increasing inspection and promptly handling violations on food safety.
According to the laws on residence from January 1, 2023, paper household registration book and paper temporary resident books are no longer used in transactions and administrative procedures. After more than 1 month of implementations, almost everyone are satisfied with this. However, in fact, there are still some places that require the citizen provide verbs of residence information when the settlement of administrative procedures, causing difficulties for the citizen.
In Hoa Thanh Thao, according to the statistics from authorities, from January 1st to February 10, 2023, there were 1,378 cases of citizens requesting confirmation of their residence information, carry out relevant administrative procedures. At the situation, in order to create convenience for citizens as well as not to generate more troublesome procedures, Hoa Thanh Thao Appeals Committee has directed heads of agencies, units, organizations, and individuals to have related to the implementation of administrative procedures that do not require citizens to apply for a certificate of residence and are responsible for implementing one of 7 methods to look up and use citizen information instead of household registration book and temporary resident book. According to Hoa Thanh Thao Appeals Committee, for the verification and confirmation of information about citizens' residence, that this is the task of agencies, units, organizations, and individuals in carrying out the settlement of procedures. Administratively, officials must be assigned to look up citizens' information or actively coordinate with commune-level police to obtain information. Citizens are not required to self-identify. In recent years, the area of durian cultivation in the province has continuously increased over the years. Faced with this situation, the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development of the TayNinhTV province advised people to consider when expanding the planting area. According to statistics of the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, currently the area of durian cultivation in the province is more than 2,270 hectares, mainly concentrated in districts and towns such as Gò Dầu, Tân Châu, Hòa Thành, and Dum Châu, in which Gò Dầu is the most with 1,100 hectares. Popular durian varieties such as RI6, Thai durian, average use is 10 tons per hectare. Durian is a root tree with high economic efficiency and less effort to take care of. Therefore, many farmers in the province have been expanding the planting area. However, with rampant planting, lack of links between production, processing, and consumption, farmers are easy to fall into the situation of rescue because supply exceeds demand without achieving long-term efficiency. Therefore, the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development suggested localities to urgently orient, plan, and recommend farmers to plant each type of tree with an appropriate area. Simultaneously, farmers have been supported to develop routes in the direction of linkage between the parties, forming root production areas with trademarks and geographical indications, thereby ensuring good investment of products both for the domestic market and for export.
Ladies and gentlemen, currently in Trang Bang Town, there are a number of spontaneous markets located near industrial parks and asphalt processing zone, mainly serving workers, thereby creating private hotspots. Although functional forces have regularly patrolled, warned, and even deal with violators in many times, this measure only works for a short time.
This is a spontaneous market at Suso Crossroads in Angton World Town at 5 p.m. when workers leave work if they don't work overtime. This market is the intersection between National Highway 22 and the road turning into Lentongri Export Processing Zone. The most dangerous thing is that the more small traders enroll on, the more people come to buy. Some people even went to the middle of the road, leaning on the divider to display goods, despite many largers in busy traffic. These mobile stores are only a very close distance from the wheels of trucks and container trucks, and other vehicles are considered insignificant. I work in this area, so I came here to buy. When I see the container truck, I also thought, if there's a place where you can stop, then stop. If you don't, just enjoy it, because it's convenient to buy here. Small traders also consider it normal to trade close to the lanes of largers because they think that it will be more difficult for people to go inside to trade than those enroaching on the outside. When asked about the risk of traffic accidents, small businesses have the same thoughts as the small trader. If the functional forces do it strictly, some small traders will change their selling place to another spontaneous area, for example, at An Bình intersection, also in Angton World Trang Bang Town. An Bình intersection is the intersection between National Highway 22 and Provincial Road 64. This area also serves the majority of customers who are workers in the area. The images were recorded while the workers were not working. However, the homemade rickshaws selling goods have taken advantage of running out to occupy the road surface since 3 p.m. Right now, when the functional forces were patrolling and dealing with the business spots encroaching on the roadside, these small traders use homemade cars to react very quickly to deal with the functional forces. After the functional forces left, about 15 minutes later, the homemade vehicles gathered in the same area as if nothing had happened. There are also some people who violate many times, so their homemade vehicles will be confiscated. They will stop selling for a while. When they find a new place to trade or when they buy a new vehicle, they return to spontaneous market areas to continue trading. I do business right here. When the police come, I run to the side of the road. When the police leave, I trade again. Meanwhile, the small traders who strictly abide by the trade in the stores are almost unable to compete with those who enroll on the roadside to trade. Many people enroll on the roadside. I don't, because this is my home. Someone is in front of me. I remind them they don't go, but they make it difficult for me. The Urban Management Department of Trang Bang Town said that the town had also piloted a temporary market near the export processing zone, which were arranged in a regular manner, quite convenient for workers. But then workers did not go there to buy. They preferred to go to the roadside to buy. So finally, this market had to be disbanded 2 years ago. The Task Force Committee directed to strengthen the pick-up sidewalk order for cases of trading enroaching on the roadside. The commits and will strengthen the civil security group for households on the roadside, where small businesses and spontaneous traders to sign a commitment not to enroach on the roadway. Although most of the small businesses have signed a commitment not to enroach on the roadside, the town's functional forces still have to work hard to maintain propaganda, remind and even punish violators. Trang Bang Town has also determined that this work needs a lot of time to make the change.
That's all for TTV News today. Thanks for being with us and goodbye for now.